Welcome back. The new year may be motivation for you to get things organized in your home, and that can feel like a very daunting task, but it doesn't have to. Here with me now is professional organizer Kelly Ryan. She owns Neat Transitions in Fenton, and Kelly, the thought of just getting organized stresses me out, but you're telling me it doesn't have to be stressful.
It doesn't have to be stressful.
You know, I was gonna say okay, I guess, how do you start? Where do we begin with all of this?
Well, first of all, you want to assess the areas in your home that are in disarray. And then make a list. That's putting a plan in place. So you make a list in order of importance. So the room or the area that is driving you crazy, put that at the top of the list. And then next, what you'll want to do is, well, let me give you an example of a list.
Okay.
So you could do, let's say, kitchen cupboard, or bedroom closet, basement, paper piles. So get that list together, and then next you're going to want to set some goals or appointments with yourself.
Okay.
So I say to do small chunks of time. Don't try to take on the whole thing all at once if you can't, or you don't have the time to. So let's look at the next 30 days.
Okay.
There are 4 Saturdays in a month, so you could commit to 1 hour each Saturday. So set it up for like noon to 1 p.m. You want to log it like an appointment. So put it in that phone calendar, set an alert, or write it on your day planner. And that way you have it set in place. It's just like an appointment for a doctor appointment or dentist, and you're more likely to follow through on it.
And you know, would you recommend doing multiple tasks at once and working on multiple rooms, or do you say start one room and finish that room before you move on to another?
Definitely start in one room or one space. And if you are tackling an entire room, I say start from one side and work your way around the room, because you start to see progress as you do that.
Because if you don't see progress, it might get a little frustrating.
Exactly.
Okay, but when you are starting to organize the space, you know, what are the steps that you recommend us to take? Is there a certain order that you do this in?
Yes, there is. So I like to use a 4-step process. This can be used with organizing any space.
Okay.
So step 1 is to clear out and clean. So even if it's, whether it's a tiny cupboard or a bedroom closet, you want to take everything out of that space and then clean it. So you are starting with just a blank canvas, if you will.
So like take all of the clothes out of the closet.
Everything out, take everything out, yes. And then step 2 is to sort and purge.
Okay.
So in order to do that, you're going to want to grab some containers to house things. So you can use laundry baskets or boxes, a trash bag, and then some type of signage to identify categories. So I brought some examples here. You can also use Post-it notes and a Sharpie.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so the categories that I have are keep, donate, trash, and then different room. And so what you would do is you would just spread these out on the floor.
Okay.
Put those containers, laundry baskets in front of each sign, except for the trash. You put the trash bag. And then start pulling items out. Start sorting and putting items in the category.
Nice. I like that. It kind of helps you really to see what your piles look like, and you know, you look at these clothes or whatever it may be and say, okay, I've been wearing this in 2 years. It's time to donate it,
Time
you know,
to go.
and kind of move on.
Yes.
So I like that suggestion, and you would also apply this to, like, you know, the things in the kitchen cupboard or the things in the garage or anything like that as well.
Yes. And I like to encourage my clients that as you are doing this, start purging. Purge as much as you can, and only use or keep what is necessary for that space. The less you have to organize.
And then really when it comes to organizing, using the different bins and things like that, I know we were talking earlier, you can go to the dollar store, you can go, you know, to any storage place and kind of get those, and it helps things to look more organized.
Yes, so the next step is step 3, which is group and containerize. So the items in your keep pile, you want to separate like items into groups. So like all your light bulbs, all your vacuum bags. So group those items together, and then grab some bins or baskets that you may already have. You can use shoe boxes. If you want to buy items, you can do that even on a budget. I have some items here that I picked up from the dollar store, and I like to use these sometimes. This is just a simple dishpan.
Yep.
But it can house canned goods in your food pantry. It can go underneath your sink and house your cleaning products. So super easy to use that many different ways. Then I have this medium one. This also dollar store, and I think it said soda cans for soda cans. But I love to use it for grab-and-go snacks in your food pantry.
Yeah.
You can also use this in a sock drawer to separate and divide. And then this small one has a handle, so it kind of simulates a drawer. This is great also in your refrigerator for condiments, your cupboard for medicines, or I even have this one labeled for spices.
Okay.
You can stack them next to each other, and just a great, useful piece.
And then the other thing I wanted to ask you about before we run out of time is just, all the documents. You have bills, you have newspapers, you have all of these different things that kind of come into the home, and we start to pile them up on the tables. How do you suggest organizing those?
Well, yes, we do have a lot of paper coming into the home. And what I like to use for that is this active file. This is a file that is just a little portable box. You can keep it in your kitchen or in your home office. You can set up the files however it would work for your home or your family. And how I have it set up is I have an action file here.
Okay.
This would be for immediate attention items. So let's say a permission slip for a field trip or a form you need to fill out. And then you've got one for bills. Those are coming in the mail, right?
Okay.
Put your bills in there. Receipts are another one that we have a lot of. Read and review. I like to maybe look at a sale flyer later, not right when I'm going through the mail. Put that in there, or an article. And then lastly is RSVP. So
Okay.
those would be date-sensitive items like an invitation,
Yep.
concert.
All right. Thank you so much, Kelly. Very helpful information. And that is going to do it for this week's Community Wide. Thank you to our guests for stopping by this week. You can join us for an all-new show here next week. I'm Jasmine Durham. Happy New Year.